Hi everyone, how you guys doing? Okay, all right, good. Okay, good to see you guys again here. So let me browse through the comments. Okay, wow, so many of you here joining today. Okay, so uh, if you can actually hear my voice clearly, right, type the word yes in the chat box right now. Okay, today we are use a slightly different platform. Today we're using our webinar jam. So get familiarized with this a little bit if you are new to this. Because sometimes you're using Zoom, right? You're using Zoom to do this. But today we're using a different platform. Okay, so let me see whether you can, okay, let me see the comment box right now. If you can hear my voice, type the word yes. Okay, let me see the chat box. Okay, it seems like everything is going fine. Okay, all right, cool. So we can, okay, thank you. Okay, I see a lot of you here notice my hairstyle. Yes, some of you asked, did I cut my hair? Yes, I do. All right, so because in Malaysia, the weather is really hot here, so it's always good to have short hair. Okay, all right, more ventilation. So, and today, and we're going to talk about a very interesting topic that I haven't talked before, right? So, but before I actually do this here, I would like to actually also to talk to some of the beginners here, because I've been told that some of you are beginner, right? Probably this is the first time you got invited to our webinar here. So let me just do a brief introduction about who am I, and also what to expect in this webinar session here today. So first of all, my name is Iverson Lee. I'm a consultant, speaker, and instructor from Joey Consulting Group. So what I do on a daily basis is I use Chinese metaphysics knowledge that I acquired 8 years ago. Then I actually help people to achieve their goals in life and to resolve certain problems that preventing them to actually achieve what they want. Okay, so some of you might thinking, how do I do that? So normally there are two ways for me of doing this. One way, I offering one-to-one consultation to others. So if you have question, you can sit down and then we have a one-to-one consultation. That's one way I'm doing this. And then another way here, because not some of you here, I think majority of you here, you not just only want to know, you want to learn this so it can serve you for your lifetime, right? And then also to help your family member as well. So if that is your goal, then I also teach a lot about Chinese metaphysics, something like Qi Men Dun Jia, this selection, feng shui. Yeah, this is what I do. So today is a sort of like teaching as well, but today we'll do it in a more light-hearted way, because today is not a class, right? This is a webinar. So, and the reason I'm doing this and the reason the team are doing this here is to help beginner to understand more about what Chinese metaphysics is, and more importantly, how can it benefit you, right? Because it actually, I get a lot of benefit from this for the last 7 years, and therefore I would like to actually share more, right? So everyone else can actually help to actually understand this. Okay, some of you say that the image is a little bit blurred. So maybe, right? Maybe because today is we're using webinar jam, right? So it might not be as clear as the Zoom software, right? I suppose. So it's also probably is got to do with the internet connection issues. Right? You need to look at the part here. So I think the team next time they're going to use the Zoom software. But for now, you're going to stick with webinar jam, right? It's too late for us to change. If the video is blurred, it's fine, right? Because you don't need to see my face. You just need to listen. Okay. All right. Can you do with this or not? Right. So it's too late for us to change platform right now, and we are not going to do it. All right. So if your video resolution is poor, yeah, I'm sorry, right? So just stick with it. It's fine, right? Because you don't need to see my face in order to benefit from today session here. Are you guys okay? All right, guys. Yeah, because if you keep focusing on blah blah blah, then that's all your focus in for the next 2 hours here. They're going to learn something, right? So put it aside. If it's blur, accept it. Okay, so it could be part of universal arrangement. Yeah, some of you see it clearly, some of you didn't. Accept it, and then we shall continue. Are you guys okay? right? Because while I'm talking to you, I'm looking at the comment box right now. I know some of you say it's blur, the resolution is not clear. Let it be. Can you guys okay or not? All right? Are you guys okay? Let it be, accept it. Take a deep breath, and then life is great again. Okay, all right. So some will say, how about chart? I don't care. There's no chart. There are no charts for today. You just continue to listen on it. All right? Okay, so, and as you know that today's topic, we're going to talk about one very important aspect in our life is our emotion, right? Because our emotion actually is the one that dictate our destiny. For example, I think most of you heard about the word says that, like, if you able to control your emotion, thus you're able to control your destiny, right? A lot of time, the reason we mess up in our life is because certain decision that we make that screw up our life, right? And therefore, and most of the time, the wrong decision happen when we are emotional, right? We are caught in the heat of the moment, and therefore we make certain wrong decision, which in fact I see a lot of people, right? Actually, they don't want to tender resignation, but in the midst of the heat of the battle, and then they say, okay, I just resign, right? Just to let it out, just let you feel better. Let something out from your chest, right? But later on, after 1 week, oh, I forgot. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't do that, right? So because it's not something, sometimes it's not really what you want, but during that time, right, you act impulsively. Don't you think so? So therefore, I would say that this emotional, I would say, control is a very important so-called mechanism. If you want to talk about, you want to create a better life, right? Because no matter what decision you make, as much as you like to think is a logical decision, but actually it's an emotional decision. Okay, so we justify it using logical, but is to justify our emotion, right? We create those stuff, we pick things up. That's how it works. So therefore, think about this, right? If you are more pleasant from today onwards, you are more happier, and then you're more positive. Do you agree with me that your life will automatically become better, right? Because when people talk to you, right, if you're a happier person, people feel happier, people like to relate to you, right? So if you're happier, don't you think you're also able to perform better in your job as well, right? Because you're willing to take more challenge. Instead of complaining, you're actually producing, right? You're contributing. So the emotional state of someone is very important. So today we're going to talk about, hey, is there a way for us to use Chinese metaphysics to help us to actually create a more, I would say, or some of you say, a worry-free mind, right? So a lot of people want this, they want peace of mind, they want worry-free. So I try to use this session here to share with you, in what way we can actually use metaphysics to help you on this. So before I go into that, I think I want all of you here to know this, that in period 9, right? We are in a period 9 right now. Some of you might actually heard about period 9, and some of you didn't. And period 9 basically is a phase of 20 years, and then it will change once every 20 years or 2 decades. So every time the shift happening, you will see a different phenomenon, right? The market trend will be different, or what we want could be different, right? So, and therefore, it just happened, right? Period 9. That's why you see a lot of changes happening, like pandemic, the world economy, the stock market, especially this month and last month, right? So there are so many things. So, and therefore, you see a big shift here. And then one thing that that is least mentioned in period 9, is about emotional health. So in period 9, which we are in right now, we're just entering period 9. You see that there are more people having I would say, emotional issues. All right. So the thing, the terms about depression, mental health, all these things will become super popular because a lot of people need help. In this era, because if you know, we are in an era of where we are overloaded with information, right? So, but yet we are starving for wisdom. Do you guys agree? Because if you want to look for information about how to do something, like how to lose weight, how to make more money, how to become prettier, so you can actually get those answers easily from where? From the website, right? Google's, or the search engine. The moment you type a word, how quick it is, probably a few seconds, you get your answer. So in the form that we are in an era where we are not lack of information, right? A lot of people say they don't know what to do. Actually, they know what to do. It's just because there's so many options, they're confused which one they should go for, right? They're never a state that you don't know what to do, right? Most of the time, whenever they say that they don't know, basically they're telling you that there are too many options. I don't know which one to start. Okay, all right. So this is what is happening right now. So, and you see in period 9, you see a lot of people will actually go through depression, or at least in the mild level would be unhappiness, or they feel that life there's no meaning, right? So therefore, period 9 give birth to spirituality. So which means that the moment someone unhappy, or someone they're lost, or they're depressed, what is the next thing they're looking for? Tell me, right? They want to look for what? Religion, right? Or more meaning about life, right? Why this thing happening to them? They want to look for meaning. So therefore, is something that we worth studying, because if you know Chinese metaphysics, you can use this art to help those people, right? Yeah, why not, right? So don't you think it's a valuable tool for you if you can use Chinese metaphysics to help people to at least you make them mental health become better? How many of you here would like to do this? What if you have this ability, not only helping yourself, but you can help others that need your help to become better mentally, emotionally? Don't you think this would be cool? Okay, so today we're going to touch about this topic here, right? Because if you're not happy, don't you think nothing else matters to you? All right, nothing else, right? I don't care how much money you have, who with you right now. Someone can feel lonely even though they're surrounded by a lot of people, right? I think if you actually pay attention to what's happening around the world, a lot of people committed suicide. Yeah, which in fact a lot of people surprised why they do so, because from other people's eye they are very successful, they have a lovely family, they have money, right? You might actually try to figure out why they still committing suicide. They have a life that a lot of people dreaming of, right? So therefore, in the end, it's not what is happening outside, it's what is happening inside. Yeah, in earth that matter, right? That one, if someone asks you how do you actually define a great destiny, great destiny is it's not what you have, right? I would say great destiny is who you are, right? Are you someone pleasant? Yeah, even someone that might not actually achieve a lot in their life, but they're pleasant, they're happy every single day, they laugh every single day, right? They have a good time. Don't you think that is a life you want as well? Right, rather than a rich man alone in a mansion, or you cannot find meaning in life. That one is worse, right? So therefore, we're going to talk about this part here. So now, since we are talking about emotional health, the reason people feel unhappy, I would say 90% of the people feel unhappy because they're constantly worrying about stuff, right? That's why we talk about a worry-free life, right? Using Qi Men. So now, why not you tell me first, what is the one thing that you worry the most right now? What are you worrying? Only one thing. Okay. All right. So type in the chat box right now. What is the one thing that you worry the most right now? I'm not talking about solving it. I'm just saying that something that worries you, that constantly in your head, you cannot get out of it. Okay, I saw Pei Fang Lim say financials, Winnie-Co money. Some will say health. Okay, the comment is too fast. So, but I see a lot of finance, health related things, right? Okay, all right, cool. So, okay, let me see, income, money, future job. All right, okay, cool. So I think all of us here have something that worry about. Maybe some of them is not so intense. Maybe you can label is a goal you want to achieve, right? But most of the time is from what I see from the screen right now, it's about health or kids or uncertainty. and all those things, right? Okay, cool. So now, first of all, I want all of you here to understand the emotion of worry, yeah, because this one is heavily studied in Qi Men as well, in Qi Men Dun Jia. Emotion of worry actually is a good thing, right? There's a purpose to every emotion. You might need to write this down. There's always a purpose, right? So a lot of people think worry means it's a bad. No, right? Worry is a good thing, right? Because it actually helps to protect us from something bad that might happen to us. Agree? Right? So if you worry about health, then very likely you're going to take more action to improve your health, right? You're going to actually engage in a healthier lifestyle, for example. Agree or not? Haven't you worry about it? You do nothing, right? Maybe some of you worry about losing someone you love or you care about. So then you're going to do more, right? You're going to show love to your significant one. You're going to do more of it. So worry actually is not a bad thing, though, right? It actually give you energy to do something about it. And some of you also, I noticed that you mentioned that you worry about losing your jobs, right? So yes, yeah. So if you are worried about losing your jobs, some of you here. So, and don't you think you'll be more hardworking? Right? Yeah. So you want to become better, right? Yes. You want to compete. So to prevent that thing from happening, right? So therefore, and then some of you here worry of poverty, right? You don't want to actually be bothered by a lack of money, right? So therefore, you work even harder, guys. So first of all, I want to I would say de-associate the negative notion of the emotion of worry, right? It's nothing bad. So I would say that it's only bad when it's excessive, right? When it's become so intense that or you addicted to it every single day, and then anything is too much will become negative to us. You guys agree? Right? So some of you say, okay, can I be worried if the moment I don't have problems? Okay, so first of all, right, so worry free, as the title implies, doesn't indicate that you have zero problems, right? So because problem is a sign of life, right? It's a good thing. So if you have problems right now means you're alive. Okay, so like I think some of you heard about this, right? If you want zero problems, zero, no problem at all, the only one place you're gonna get zero problems in a cemetery, right? Dead people don't have problems. As long we're alive, yeah, there'll be problems. So therefore, my point here is worry-free life doesn't mean problem-free. You might need to write this down, right? Worry-free life, as the title implies, doesn't mean problem-free life, because problem-free is for dead people, right? You're still alive, therefore you still have problems. So worry-free means that you want to become someone unshaken, calm, composed, and peaceful, even in the moment of adversity or uncertainty. Do you guys agree or not? How many of you here want to have achieved this state here? Right, you're unshaken. Yeah, even your current situation is not favorable to you. You still remain calm, and then you're figuring out what is the next step to take. Compared to someone that keeps shouting here, shouting there, and say, "Oh my God!" Right, the sky is falling. Right, so yeah, so I think the word worry-free means that internally you're unshaken. Yeah, like recently, right, the stocks, the Nasdaq or whatever, that actually there's a huge dip, right? Some people that it seems that they're suddenly overreacting, right? They feel like the whole world is collapsing and all those things, right? So, but yet some people, they're remaining calm, right? They do nothing, yeah, because some of them, they know what is happening. They see long term, right? So who you want to be, right? Someone that keep reacting to stuff, they're shouting. Have you met someone like this maybe in your office as well? Your colleagues even? Right, they cannot be challenged. Every time they heard some disagreement, then they start to shout, they start to fight, Yeah, but some people, they remain calm, they assess the situation. Okay, yeah, so of course we want to be the one that unshaken, the calm and composed, because if you look at all successful people or helpful people, internally they are peaceful, right? That only on that state you're able to solve problems. Okay, all right. So therefore, in order to be unshaken, or calm or self-composed or collected. So you cannot have excessive worries. So because if you have excessive worries, of course, you're going to make a wrong decision. And don't you think you will attract what you worry the most in your life? Have you experienced this before? A lot of time, the thing that we try to avoid the most, that the thing that actually come into our life. Right? If you're in a class last time, when the teacher tried to pick one of the students to answer the question, if in your mind you say, don't pick me, right? Somehow, guess who the teacher will pick? You, right? Because you're sending this vibration, this fear vibration, and then energy attracts, right? Fear attracts fear. So the moment you're projecting so many fear to your environment, right? So therefore, guess what? What you're going to attract? All the negative events in your life, right? So therefore, I would say that like I met some people that constantly worry that their husband going to actually find someone else outside, right? So in the world, right? So they constantly worry, and then they keep suspecting their husband, accusing the husband, right? So, and after 10 years, finally, the husband found someone outside. So, and then, of course, the wife you say, you see, I already predicted from year one. But what she didn't know, actually, she is the one creating all these things, right? Think about this. Would you like to be with someone that constantly mistrusts or didn't trust you at all? Constantly suspecting you, even you do nothing, right? In long run, that person also feel fed up, right? So since you're not trusting me, you're accusing me of having an affair, why not I prove to you, right? Since you want it so much, right? So therefore, excessive worry actually breeds a lot of negative emotion. And one thing, if you're someone that constantly worry about things might go wrong, normally you have a weak stomach. Okay, weak stomach. Because our emotion and our body actually is interlinked. Right? If you met someone, if let's say you discover your colleague constantly worried, everything also worried, right? Their future, whether they find someone or not, or what could go wrong. If they go to work today, will they actually fall down or trip on the floor? You know, so many things, right? They constantly worry stuff. So therefore, very likely their stomach also very weak. Okay, now you check. Yeah, you can do a self-assessment first. Now you check whether yourself, right? Are you someone that constantly worry, even the slightest thing? Yeah, even something trivial. You always focus on what is the bad thing could happen, right? So very likely, I'm telling you, I'm not saying very likely. I changed my statement. 100% you have a weak stomach. Yeah, I've seen this so many times. Okay, all right. So how many of you here want to like to know? Yeah, what is a step you can actually reduce this prolonged worry? Right? Because if you constantly worry on something and you get addicted to it, and then you feel that is normal, right? Because it's been in your emotion for so many years here, right? So therefore, you want to actually break through that, right? Because you cannot win the game of life if you constantly worry. Yeah, you might need to write this down. Yeah, you cannot win the game of life, be it financially, relationship, or health, if you constantly worry. Yeah, if you talk about health, also the same, you know. Have you met someone that is so paranoid about health? Everything need to be organic. All the water need to be filtered. Even slightest, I would say, impurity actually pisses them off, scares them off. Everything is so clear, right? Overly done, right? That I would say that the cross is to a level of extreme. And these are the people that actually, that will get easily will contracted diseases. Right? Have you met someone like this? Right? You think about this, right? Water, whenever it's too clean water cannot rear fishes. Right? The fishes cannot live there. They'll die. Right? So too clean or too dirty, the fishes will die because there's no life can exist there. Right, so I want to say that we're going to sort of like the on the balance level here. So therefore, it's good for you to acknowledge that worry is healthy if you keep in a balance level, right? Because it's protect us from danger. Okay, so now, but we don't want to have excessive worry because if excessive worry, you're already defeated from the start. So since we are talking about winning, right? Winning the game of life, so is we require to win something. Yeah, there's something for us to fight for. So and we're to overcome this anxiety, right? So nowadays a lot of people say that they have anxiety attack. So how do we overcome it? There are so many systems that we can use, right? So there are 八字, there are feng shui, there are Qi Men, there are Yi Jing. So and based on my analysis here, I think Qi Men Dun Jia is one of the best system to address emotional issue, because 八字 talk about your personality, but you don't know how to change, right? Your personality, your talent, and all those things. It's just telling you it's for awareness. This is important, but I think the next step, once you aware what you have, is the next step would be how do you solve it, right? Or how do you mitigate it? So Qi Men Dun Jia is a good system to have, simply because Qi Men Dun Jia in the ancient day, it actually used to fight the war, the battles, right? Used to it's a warcraft, right? So it's the art of war. So therefore, don't you think emotional is also a form of battle that we need to fight, guys? Right? If someone that have depression, who are they fighting with? Their own self, their own thinking, right? So it's also considered a battle. So therefore, to win battles in life, I would say that Qi Men Dun Jia would be a great system to use, right? So today, I actually deliberately choose the Qi Men Dun Jia software, the system here to share with you. So some of you are new. Let me just show you on the screen first. Okay, so this is the word. Yeah, whenever I mention Qi Men Dun Jia, is this word here, Qi Men Dun Jia, if I pronounce it in Cantonese. So this system here in the old days is used to fight the war. So if in today, to make it relevant, we would like to categorize the war or the victory into two aspects here, two spectrum. One is the internal victory, and then the other one here is the external victory. So both also equally important. So whenever we talking about emotion, our state of mind, we are referring to the internal victory, right? It need to be one. So, and if you're talking about external victory, is how we deal with people, right? In office politics, or if you're running your business, how do you outbeat your competitor? How do you outsmart them, right? It's also external. It's something you deal with other people. So internal is how you deal with yourself, right? Were you able to master your own self or not? Okay. All right. So don't you think internal victory is very important? Right? Because internal victory is like this. If you actually, if you say something and you're going to do it, you walk your talk. Is it easy? Not so easy, right? A lot of people will say, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to become this. But when it comes to the actual execution, yeah, they back off, right? They cave in. Yeah, they don't even to their pressure or their addiction or whatever, right? So therefore, the ability to master yourself, how do you define self-victory? For me, it's very simple. The moment you do what you promise to yourself, not to others, to yourself. How about that? Right? That once you do that, then slowly and slowly you gain personal power, right? Because you're responsible for your own life. Yeah, it's not about I want to do this, but that person preventing me from achieving this. If this person disappear, my life will be great. You are blaming others, right? So it's not. Internal victory is about you able to control your emotion. For example, like your inner voice, your internal inner voice. Some of you might feel that the inner voice does not cooperate with you. It keep telling you shit like you're not good enough, you're a born loser, right? You're too old, you're not smart enough, you're not good looking enough. Yeah, you don't deserve anything great in your life, right? Some of us, we have this internal conversation happening and we don't know how to deal with it, and we accept that as the part of the truth. That is the problem. That's why a lot of people might have this so-called depression and all those things, because it's the internal voice, right? So why some people feel unhappy is because their own internal voice actually attacking them, right? Pull them down. So don't you think it's a time for us to actually break this so-called the pattern here and you become the owner, right? You're the boss. Yeah, the emotion doesn't control you. You suppose the one that tell that your emotion, your thoughts, what to think. You decide. So whenever someone say, I decide to do something, why not you start deciding what to think every single day? How about that? Right? If you have that, I would say is part of the strategy, to control your emotion. So imagine every single day, the moment you wake up, you actually consciously deciding, hey, today I want to feel like this. I decide I want to think like this. That's the first part. So now, the moment you see it that way, you are the owner. You are the boss. You are no longer the slave to your emotion, right? So therefore, this is important. So now, then this raises another question: is it internal victory is more important, or the external victory is more important? What do you guys think on this? All right, let me hear you all out here. Do you think the internal victory is more important to you? Yeah, you cannot say both, right? You need to select one, okay? Don't sit between the fence. Let's be decisive here. Internal or external? All right, okay, I think most of you say internal. Yes, it's correct, right? Because if internally you're strong, when you engage better with other people, you won't give up easily, right? Agree? Right? Because your internally is strong. If your internally is not strong, let's say you're a coward and then you easily give up, you're negative. The moment you engage better with others, let's say your politics in your office with your colleague, right? So the moment you got defeated first time, then you back down, you surrender because internally you're not strong, right? But if you're someone, you're strong, you have courage, you're persistent, right? You're confident, you know what you want. Then it's a very different game, right? So therefore, I want all of you here to write down here is is very important word here is internal victory precedes external victory. Okay, so it's always the internal, because if your internal victory is strong, is won, right? You won this battle, no one can disturb your inner peace. Agree? They can say whatever they want. They try to manipulate you. They try to trigger your anger so can do certain things. But if you remain calm, despite all of this trigger externally, then you're fine. All right? You don't need to prove anything. You remain calm. You are non-reactive. Okay, so if you're someone that very reactive, the moment someone trigger you, you do certain things, don't you think you're easily controlled by other people? All right, so let's say you have a weak spot, for example, like you don't like to be labeled as fat. Okay, that is the word. That is, I would say that is that's your last straw, right? You cannot take it. Anyone who actually told you that you're fat, you cannot take it. You're gonna beat that person up. So, but don't you think if you are like that, then for anyone to want to control you is very easy. They can make you angry whenever they want to by merely a push of a button, right? Because they know how to trigger you. Because you're easily affected by other people's words, right? By the environment. So, but if you're someone that you know who you are inside, no matter what people say, you don't even bother to justify. That is an internal battle we're talking about. So if you have this sense of self-assured inside, don't you think you start to become less worried? At least you're less worried about how people think about you. You have more freedom that way, right? So therefore today, I'm going to talk more about the internal victory. Are you guys okay? All right, because I think this is very important before you engage on a lot of strategy. I know Qi Men is very interesting, right? They have a lot of techniques, attacking techniques, right? So a lot of special structures in Qi Men, right? The phoenix dive in the water, the green dragon return formation. All of these are attacking. That one is external. All right. Some of them are actually more straightforward. Some of them are more they call more forbidden techniques, right? I think a lot of people. Let me ask you, by the way, if you're given a choice to learn a more, I would say, direct approach or conventional techniques, or you would like to learn more forbidden techniques? If you only can choose one. Yeah, I just want to know, out of curiosity. Type in the chat box right now. Okay, let me see. So you want a more conventional techniques or you want a more forbidden techniques? Oh, a lot of you like the forbidden one. Okay. No wonder forbidden love is so popular. Okay, all right, cool. Yeah, so that's why external, there's a lot of part, but you cannot learn that part if you haven't actually mastered your own self, your inner victory. Because if it's not, every time you try to deploy forbidden technique or whatever, right, you are not strong enough to follow through. Right? For example, like everyone can start a business. Do you guys agree? A lot of people keep asking me, hey, Iverson, can I start a business? Yes. Why not? It's so easy. Right? What is the hardest part? Sustaining that energy for 1 year or more. Right? A lot of time when you run your own business, after 1 or 2 months, you don't see results. What will you tell? What is normally people do? They say, okay, maybe I'm not into business. Maybe my party chart say I'm not suitable. Maybe in the wrong industry. They start to giving a lot of excuses. But sometimes it's just because they don't have the energy to sustain it. They're not able to persevere. The moment they actually encounter obstacle, they do what? They give up because they're not strong enough. The moment they lost all the support from their friends, from their family, then they cannot function by themselves. So my question here to you, if you're running your own business, one thing you need to know, you must be able to function by your own self. Even everyone is against you. And you need to be okay with it and you still can sleep soundly at night. That is personal victory. Right? Because you don't depend on other people's opinion, because you know truly your idea will work. Right? You're going to persevere. So therefore, sustaining the part is the hardest part, right? So that one require what? No longer intelligence. It's about emotional strength, right? Were you able to persevere or not? So that one is about the internal victory. So now we know this part is so important. So how do we use Qi Men to address this? Then let me show you the chart here. In Qi Men, what you need to actually learn. Now, some of you learned Qi Men before, some of you didn't. So all you need to actually learning Qi Men is not something hard. Right? All you need to do is to actually learn these 4 things. Let me show you on the screen. Okay, so it's the deities, the stars, the doors, and the stems. Only these 4 things here. So this is that exists on different realms. Of course, this is a bit technical if you are new to Qi Men. So let me show you what it means. Okay, so the deity represent the okay, let me just draw something here first. Okay, the deity represent your state of mind. All right, your energy level. The stars represent your thoughts. So whenever we're talking about worries, anxiety is all here. All right, so worries is here. So if you want to make adjustment on your thoughts, the stars in the Qi Men chart will actually associated with this thinking, your worries, happiness, even anything that related to your thoughts is here. So the doors represent action and the stem represent the results, right? So now if you want different results in life, for example, let's say right now you're not happy with your current environment or your situation, then in order to do this, you need to change different action, right? So because different action produce different results, maybe you learn new stuff and all those things. But you do notice that a lot of time, it's not hard for people to change, but it's hard for them to continue to do or follow up with the change. Agree? Like you've seen a lot of people, or maybe some of your friends that attended some motivation seminars before. Right, the moment they come back, they feel very pumped up, right? They're very positive, and then they take actions. But after 2 weeks, or maybe less, it's sort of like gradually they return back to their old self. How many of you here notice this phenomenon? It's pretty common throughout the whole world. All right, because if you're focusing on just doing something, it will not last long until you change your thinking. Agree? Right? So instead of working on your action, why not you work on your thoughts? Because the moment you have different thoughts, you do different things. Right? If you if your thoughts is a kind thoughts, what are the action you take normally? You're gonna help people. You're gonna do kind things, right? If your thoughts is evil, what are you gonna do? Do you need to remind yourself that you need to do certain things? No, because automatically different thoughts produce different action, right? If you're someone very jealous of another person, so what kind of action you're going to do? You're going to sabotage that person and all those things. So instead of forcing yourself to change your action, which is not going to last, don't you think it's more important to change your thoughts out of it? Yes? Right? So because that's why you hear or you actually heard about old saying say that change your thoughts, change your life. Because if your thoughts is adjusted, action will come automatically, the result will come automatically. Okay? So don't you think a lot of people wasting time on this one? Or maybe on the result, they try to actually show that themselves in a better light, even though their actual life doesn't resemble that way, right? So therefore, the thoughts is very important, right? So, or if you're worried, then you do certain action that reflect that you're worried. Okay, so now, since we know that the thoughts is so important, so what influence your thoughts? What influence your thoughts is your state of mind, the state, your energy level, right? Sometimes when you wake up, you feel pumped up, right? You feel good. You know, you don't have whatever reason, you just feel good. Have you actually, I think all of us here, or maybe if you're old enough, or you might actually fell in love before. Now, whether you succeeded on that doesn't matter, but you fell in love with someone. That time, the feeling is good, right? Do you feel good that time? Yes. Do you need any reason to feel good that time? No. Right? And then I want you to go back to the moment you fall in love that time. Not 3 months after. 3 months after normally is disaster. Okay, I'm joking. All right. So I want to that time almost fall in love, or you just fall in love. So that is the time that your energy level is high. Do you need to actually reminding yourself to think positive? No, right? It just happened, right? And you feel that you are invincible, right? You are the top of the world, right? Everything is cool, even though your boss scold you that day, you're fine, right? So therefore, the state, the energy level is changing. So for us, from Chinese metaphysics perspective, if we want to work on our thoughts, we want to work on the energy level, because to ask you to change the way you think is hard, right? If you say, oh, I need to be more positive, I need to be more positive, I want to change my thought. Every time you tell yourself you need to be more positive means that you're also telling yourself you are not positive now. Agree? Right? If you're already positive, why you need to tell yourself you need to be more positive? So basically, you're telling yourself you're negative, right? So it doesn't work that way. So therefore, instead of working on the thoughts, we work on the energy level, the state of mind. Agree? So in summary, this Qi Men Dun Jia here, if you're talking about internal victory, is represented by deities and the stars, represent the state of mind and your thoughts, right? If in next time in the near future, you want to learn about external victory, we'll pay more attention to the door, which represent action, and the stamp is the result. Are you guys clear or not? All right. So now this is like a menu for you, right? You go to a restaurant, then you want to eat, right? So that which one you want right now? You want internal victory, you better study and focus on the deity and the stars. So does it make it clear for you right now? Right? When you learn Qi Men, yeah, you need to know, right, what battle you're fighting, right? If you're fighting an internal battle, therefore you pay attention to the deities and the stars. That's what it means. Okay, so now clear? Are you guys clear? If you're a beginner, if you're not clear, pretend you're clear. Just type the word yes. Make me happy. Cannot. Okay. I sort of like forcing you to do that. All right. Okay. So are you guys okay? Yeah. Even though you don't understand, just type the word yes. Okay. So I can talk more. Okay. All right. Cool. Now, so since I see so many yeses here, so I can continue, right? So now, once we know this part, then we can start to use Qi Men. So now, let me just test your memory a little bit here to see whether you pay attention. If I want to actually adjust my emotion, my feeling, there are four components, right? Do I look for which are the two components that I'm looking for when I want to talk about my feeling, my internal victory, my state of mind? Which are the two out of the four components that I should look for? Type in the chat box. Yeah. Yes, I'm trying to see whether you pay attention with to what I'm talking. Yes, deity and stars. All right, nice. Okay, that's great, right? Deities and stars. Okay, once we know this, then we are ready to move on to the next step. So now, let's talk about what are the things that create worries in our life. All right. So now, let me show you the first one. Okay, social expectation. Yeah, this is a new problem. Old days, this one is less powerful, but due to social media, right, this influence actually become bigger and bigger. So whenever we're talking about social expectation, which means that what the society expect from you, right? This is sort of like a invisible expectation. It isn't actually written down, but it's sort of like agreed by the common masses here. Okay, so and these are the area that a lot of people they try to portray what is the definition of success, what is the great life is, what a life should be, or even dictate how you should behave, what kind of dress you want to wear, and this happen, I would say, in a very subtle way. Yeah, but yet it affected I would say most of us. Some of us are actually able to actually manage it, and then some of you actually being drowned by all this expectation. Because in a social media world, everyone, it seems like everyone need to be happy 24/7, right? Need to be positive, right? And you know it's not possible, right? We all human, right? We have emotion. There'll be downtime, right? It's normal, right? But in the world of social media, when you look at all those pictures, yeah, it seems like all of us here need to be pumped up 24/7, right? Don't you think it's also a social society expectation of how a man or woman should be? So you say that, okay, if you're on certain age, you should be in a relationship, or you should get married, or you should have children already. If you're not, yeah, then you're a bit weird. Yeah, that is what the society expectation. Yeah, it's not true, right? But somehow, because a lot of people agree to that rule, that invisible rule, it's sort of like giving pressure to some people that they need to actually achieve certain thing by certain age, right? Don't you think this one create a lot of stress? Or even more, some people even actually dictate how your body should look like, right? All the advertiser actually they make use of this. I'm telling you, if your body doesn't have this kind of measurement or configuration, yeah, then you belong to the ugly part. Yeah, you're not fit, right? To the so-called the cool girls or the cool guys, right? They sort of do something like that make us feel inferior, right? So don't you think all this is society expectation, right? That is self-created and is not true. But a lot of people abuse this and manipulate this so they can sell more things to you, right? They say, okay, you must have a flawless skin. Think about this. Does everyone have a flawless skin? No, even celebrity, right? The moment they wear off all their makeup, it's just like a normal person. But nowadays we have this one, the beauty camera, everything, right? They make you look like what? Perfect, just look like God, right? So it's to immaculate appearance. So, and you therefore it actually raises the standard so much. The moment you have a pimples, you feel like you're a loser, right? You're not catching up. And how about bags, handbags? Right? They will show you that celebrity or successful person. Yeah, if you're successful, you should wear these kind of bags, right? Handbags or Hermes or Louis Vuitton or Chanel, whatever it is. Okay, so this actually create a thoughts that they need to compare with others, right? That make us feel that we are not good enough if we not meet those expectations. So don't you think this create a lot of misery and a lot of suffering to a lot of people? They dampen that, they feel that they're not good enough. Their self-esteem become lower. So therefore, this is one of the things that we would like to actually solve, right? Is to eliminate the need to compare with others. So how do we do that? Because the society expectation is too much, right? So in order to actually so-called debunk the myth or this false prophecy, or how do we actually do this is we don't actually subscribe to their created expectation, right? We're going to trade expectation for appreciation. Okay, yeah, there's expectation. A lot of people expect this, expect that, right? So the only way you are not actually get sucked into this cycle, this endless cycle of the needs to compare with others, is you start to appreciating yourself, that you are enough. Don't you think this is powerful, right? If you feel internally you're enough, there's no need for you to compare. Do you guys agree or not? Okay. Yeah, so this is very important. So in Qi Men Dun Jia, yeah, because if you feel that you're a kind person, even someone tell you that you're cruel, you don't even bother, right? Because it's not who you are. But if you're someone, you're an evil person, and you try to pretend that you're a kind person, whenever someone say that you're evil, then what you do? You overreact, right? So anyone that's overreact when you say something to them, basically you actually telling them the truth, right? You actually hit the bull head or something. Okay, so now in Qi Men, there are one techniques that actually help us to ground ourselves. Grounded, we are more collected, and then we actually feel good. We self-assure that we are enough, right? That we no need to actually impress anyone. We no need to get validation by posting certain posts on social media to get some likes, because we know regardless of whether I got liked or not, it doesn't affect my feeling. How about that? Right? So you start to appreciate life more. Would you like to have this feeling consistently in your life? All right. So if you want, I can show you a way to do it. So type the word yes if you want to know more about this. Okay, nice. All right. Okay, cool. So remember just now when we talk about reprogram our thoughts and our energy level, is something got to do with the deities and the stars, right? So let me show you this page here about the deities in Qi Men. Okay, so in Qi Men, there are 10 deities, right? There are 10 deities here, and then these deities here will be appearing in a Qi Men chart. Yeah, it will be appearing. So let me show you a sample Qi Men chart first. So now I'm going to show you the screen right now. Okay, so from the screen, this is a sample Qi Men chart. This is a year chart, of course, and this chart will valid for 1 year, because this is a yearly chart. This is 2022. So when we look at deities, all the deities actually resides at the top right, of every boxes here. Okay, the top right represent the deity. So there, in any point of time, there will be 8 deities resides in the Qi Men chart. Okay, now we are only focusing on the deities or the stars only, right? The rest is not relevant for now. Okay, so now since we are talking about you need to feel that you're enough, you're self-assured, you don't need to prove to anyone or to compare with anyone, because you feel good about yourself. That one is something got to do with the earth element here, or we call the 9 earth. Okay, it's a 9 earth element. Yeah, because 9 earth is the ground. It represents grounded. It represents gratitude. It represents appreciation. So therefore, this is the element we would like to tap into. Okay, So, and the stars, right? The stars is the center. This is the star, the top. So this is a heart star. Heart star represent healing. All right, you want to heal yourself, right? Because maybe you are not so you have a low self-esteem. You constantly need assurance. So if you have a heart, you start to heal. Yeah, you start to tell that you are good enough. All right, so these are the two components. Do you like these two component falls in the same palace? Yes, we like. All right, so the ninth earth represent grounded. You're self-composed. You have gratitude, and then the heart star here represent healing. Right, you start to heal. Okay, so this box, we like this box. Then how do you actually tap to this energy? It's very simple. So you look at here is an ease. You see an ease here? So it says that this year, this sort of energy that you want is available the moment you tap to the east direction. Okay, so how do you tap to the east direction? It's very simple. Let's say I just draw a simple figure here. Pardon me, I'm bad in drawing. Okay, you just sit down, right? So the way to tap to it is not to face the east, but you need to back to the east. So like that. So on the back of your head should be pointing to the east direction. So basically you're facing the west. So because Qi Men is about backing, it's not about facing. So you want to use the east energy, make sure your back of your head is actually backing to the east. Okay, so you say cute picture. Is it really? Yeah, but okay, nice. Okay, so back to the east. So you can do this for this year. So what you need to do here is like every morning, right? Every morning, and then you wake up, and then you just sit down for a while, relax yourself, and then you back to the east as shown as the picture. Of course, the emotion you no need to follow exactly with what I draw. You no need to smile also can, all right? So no need to be exactly like this. And what you need to do once you sit down back to them, I want you to actually silently chanting that about, you tell yourself, I am enough. Yeah, tell yourself, I am enough. Even right now, even you tell this, right now, you can feel your energy change. Tell yourself, I am enough. There's no reason. You no need even to tell the reason. Just tell, I am enough. Okay? And then the second thing, I want to also try to think of one thing that you truly appreciate right now. Yeah, that's the second part here, right? You truly appreciate right now. For example, like the maybe about your health, maybe about your family, or maybe because right now you have a job that you love to do, right? So anything that you truly appreciate right now, I want to think about one thing. It could be anything. It could be your pet. It could be your dog. It could be your health, right? It could be simply that you're still alive. You're breathing right now. It could be as simple as that. All right. Okay. And then finally, the third step here, tell yourself, I run my own race. Let me repeat this again. I run my own race. Okay, so because everyone have their own timeline, there's no need for you to compare. You have your own race to run. Yes, some people is on chapter 10 right now. Maybe you're still in chapter 2. It's fine. There's nothing to compare. You are you. All right. Okay, cool. So this 3 things, tapping to this. Once you're done, then then you're able to absorb this energy within you. Yeah, this is the first way to do it. Even right now, if you hear about this, right, do you feel better now? Right? Yeah. If you feel better, wait until you tap into the east direction. Okay. All right. So that is how you do it. Great. That's great. That's great. Okay. Cool. Do you like this or not? Yeah. This is a high level achievement thing. Okay. Yes. Okay. Great. I'm glad you like this. Okay. Cool. Cool. So let me just. Okay, all right. So that's great. That's great. So now, Do you want to learn more? Do you want to learn more? Okay, let me show you. The second one that actually prevent us to become happy and make us worry a lot is this one. Okay, unresolved fear or unresolved trauma. Okay, so you think about this, right? This thing that might not be easily noticeable because it could trace down to our childhood time. For example, like sometimes you might wondering, right, why this person doesn't trust anyone, right? Is it because of the parts or what? Sometimes it's not, it could be an event that happens during the childhood that they might betray, yeah, badly before. So now they don't dare to trust someone because if they trust someone, they're worried that they might get hurt again. Right? So this is unresolved fears. You might not know it. Sometimes you cannot even explain why you behave that way because there are certain unresolved fear internally or in the past. Right? It could be intimacy problem, right? Sometimes you say, how come I have intimacy problem? Maybe in the past, you have some bad experience on that area, right? Or it could be self-esteem, or maybe you got bullied before in the past, and then you still have that feeling, or you're being abandoned before, so you have this sense of abandonment issues, right? So this is so-called the unresolved fear. Okay, so don't you think how many of you here actually have this, that is sort of like an invisible prison that binds you, yeah, that make you behave negatively, or sometimes there are certain, it will evoke certain negative emotion, right? Yeah, so sometimes you don't understand, right? It's in the past. Yeah, maybe in the past that you sometimes you might wondering why you're so competitive right now, right? Maybe in the past that you don't get certain approval from your parents that keep criticizing you. Then you're wondering, am I a loser or not? So you want to be number one, right? You want to prove to your parents that they are wrong. Yeah, that you are born champion. I'm not as bad as you think I am. Yeah, it could be, so not all the time has to be negative. Yes, the experience is painful, yeah, but it will make you become someone maybe better, right? So sometimes it's like that. But sometimes if you don't channel this energy in a positive way, you go through a downward spiral. For example, if you got betrayed before, and then now you say, oh, everyone is bad, right? So you avoid relationship. Or even you have a relationship, you actually screw it up yourself. Because in your mind, you think, yeah, all man is bad, right? So you created your own destiny that way. So I'll categorize all of this here under this category, the unresolved fear. Okay, so this part is, the thing here is, if you want to actually, how do you remove this kind of fear? You need to face the fear head on, right? You need to actually look at it eye to eye. And then so in that way, it's not easy to do because you need to relieve your fear again, because you want to bring it into conscious again. Okay, so I know that this is not for everyone, because this one will be painful, because you might need to relieve an experience that you try to avoid, but it actually affecting your behavior, your thoughts right now. Yeah, I know this is a bit deep. If you are studying psychology, I think you know what I'm talking about, right? So it sometimes is so deep rooted, yeah, downward. So I would say that it's very hard for you to even notice it, right? So, but in Qi Men, there are ways for you to bring it to conscious or to the light, so you can actually face it again one more time. It might be painful, right? But if you face it so many times and you use Qi Men, it might lose the power of those incidents, might lose its intensity or the influence on you, right? If you do it correctly. So how many of you here want to learn how to do this? But this is not for everyone, right? Because it might bring back the fear that you try to avoid all the time unconsciously. Type yes if you want to learn how to do this. Okay, all right. Since you asked, but I'm not advise everyone to do this, because if you're someone you don't want to relive back the bad experience, you better don't do this. All right, I'm telling you straight up front here. Yeah, it's not for everyone. I'm telling you the technique, but I'm not asked you to do it. Okay? Yeah, only if you want to. So this one is only for someone who able to stomach it, right? You have the you have the strength or the courage to feast on it. So if you want to, let me show you how you do this. Okay. Okay, this is the one. You use back the chart here. So now we are talking about confronting the fear again, right? So if you're talking about confronting the fear, guess which door we are looking at? Fear door. You see a fear door here? Right? Fear door. I like Elaine Fong put it, ghosts of the past. Yes, exactly. All right, it's a ghost from the past. So that is a fear door, right? Okay, so the fear door is here. Tortoise is about emotion. Is about actually tortoise is like a sponge, able to actually absorb emotion. So you want to invoke this emotion again, right? You need a tortoise there, because tortoise is about your internal mind connecting emotion together. You want to relive back the part again. So the grass star is a water element. So grass star it could be sadness. So when you evoke this emotion again, you might feel unhappy, right? You might even in tears. So that's why this is not for everyone. Okay. So now, if you have the courage to do this, and if you feel that you're able to actually confront this, if you're strong enough. If you are wondering whether you're strong enough, then don't do it. If you're already wondering, means that you're not strong enough. Okay. All right. So it's fine. I can show you other technique later. So if you want to bring this conscious, it's very simple. You back to the southeast direction, right? And then because there's a fear door, you can actually bring back all the fear or trauma, yeah, from the past to the light. And then I want you to do one thing, right? Because there's a death and emptiness here. I want you to imagine the fear in a picture form with a great intensity. That's as if like it speaks to you. And then I want you to slowly imagine that picture becomes smaller and smaller, and the intensity become weaker and weaker. And as time goes by, the photo will shrink by itself, and then it disappear, as if like it go into a black hole. All right, that's how it works. So once you're able to do this few more times, you feel better. Okay, all right. So this one is you can actually do this. Do you like this way of using Qi Men or not? Do you learn something new? Yeah, okay, that's great, right? Yeah, so yeah, you need to. This is one of the way to do it. But let's say okay, all right, I don't want to do this. Relieve back the emotion. Let me show you a way, a more safer way to do this, right? So I'll say that instead of actually bring back the emotion and then try to reduce the intensity, yeah, because to some people it might be painful. So how about this? Instead of doing that, you can actually do this. The power of acceptance. You let go. You forgive. Okay? So do you like this or not, right? So which means that you're able to make peace. I think this is also important. A lot of people say, right, how do you let go on something? You cannot let go of something by letting it go. You need to accept the fact. Yeah, the moment you actually come to a terms of acceptance, right, everything is just become peaceful because you're no longer fighting. You accept. Right? So it doesn't mean you forgive, right? This one doesn't require you to forgive or something. You just accept the fact. Acceptance. This thing is happening. So do you want to learn how to use Qi Men to do this as well? Okay, so yeah, if you want to do this, I actually recorded this in my Telegram channel. You can go there to look for this. Okay, so I think some of you already listened to this. I actually recorded an audio guide you step by step how to do this. It's a guided meditation. You go there, it'll be helpful because this one is a month chart. So every month we have different energies. So every month I will actually share with you what is so special about that month and what kind of energy you can tap from. Yeah, just join here. So that is from the slide here. There's a QR code. You can scan it. Of course, you need a Telegram application to do this. It's in your phone. You can install the app, and then just search for Iverson, or you can go to the QR code as shown on the screen right now, or the URL there, and then that's how you access to my Telegram. It's free, by the way, and then you can listen back to my old monthly manifestation as well, so you can learn Qi Men at the same time. Okay. All right, so if you want to know the link, right, so pay attention to the chat box. I actually posted the link there as well, right? Just click on the link. Do you see the link there? Right, yeah, just go there, and you can actually use it. But this, because this energy in the Telegram I share is on a monthly basis, so the energy only valid for 1 month, right? After 1 month is over, then you need to look at the current month, that active month, because every month the function will be different. Okay, all right, nice. So, and do you want more information? Okay, so now the third thing that prevent us to have a worry-free life is this. Anticipatory fear. Yeah, anticipatory fear. Okay, so what is this? This fear is you always fear about what might happen in the future. Okay, all right. So do you met someone that constantly fear about the future? Right? Sometimes even in a relationship, right, they'll ask the question like, what if my partner cheating on me? Right? What if I never find someone ever again? What if I break up with this person and it turned out to be a mistake, right? So, and there's so many things. And then what if I'm not able to find the same job that I'm doing right now? We constantly actually worry about what might happen, right? So until a point that we stop living, because we're constantly on a worrying stage. I've seen some people, right, that after that they discover their partner, there's a clash in the next 20 years, and then now they already clashed themselves. Okay, they already feel worried or keep telling everyone I have a clash in 20 years time, right? And then they cannot be happy, they cannot be in peace. But actually a clash doesn't mean it's a bad thing, right? But I don't know why some people they misunderstood the whole concept, and then they start worrying about the future. Even the clash only happened 20 years from now, and the clash not even a bad thing, right? But so people, actually some people, they are like that, and most of the time the thing that they worry about might not happening. Right? Yeah, so therefore it wastes of time, it wastes your energy. So, and like some people keep worrying, right? What in the future, or what if I don't have money? What if I'm lonely, right? So instead of doing something right now that preventing them to actually encounter those situations, then they keep worrying about the future. So therefore, this is also one reason why people worries a lot. Okay, so it's a fear about what if, right? They always ask a question about what if. How many of you have this habit? Always ask a question about what if, right? What if they're cheating on me, right? What if I'm not going to find my dream job? What if I'm being lonely for the rest of my life, right? What if I'm not able to achieve my goal? They're constantly worrying about the future. Okay, so and because of that, some people, they might feel depressed and they have no happiness, in their life. So, and if you actually look into this, some people, they go through the spiritual practice, and normally what they learn is they learn to anchor yourself in the present. Have you heard about a term called the power of the present? They say that, the future, you're worried about the future is not happening, yet you're fine right now. Your present is fine, there's no problem, right? Stay in the present. How many of you here actually encounter this kind of teaching and philosophy before? And if you actually study philosophy or some part of it, there are certain subjects talk about the power of present, the power of now. Okay? All right? So, and because when you anchor yourself in the power of now, there's no problem, right? You don't worry. Okay, so but I want to add something out of this, right? The reason you want to focus on the present, or why you need to anchor yourself on the present right now, you only do that if you worry about your future. What if you're excited about your future? You have a great plans. You're looking forward for it. Is it wrong to focus on the future or not, guys? No, right? It should be, right? So whenever someone tell you to or ask someone to focus on the present, it's because that person future is bleak. They feel that their future is a lot of problems. So they say don't focus on the present. But what if you are someone positive? You have a great plan in the future. You want to launch your company. You have a great holiday coming, right? And then you're expecting your baby in the next few months. All the great stuff coming. So is it wrong to focus on the future? No, it's not. All right. So you should be, right? So I would say that because a lot of our happiness actually come from anticipation, right? If let me give one example. I gave this example before. During Christmas, yeah, every year, yeah, this is one of the most happiest day, right? So tell me, which day in December is the most happiest? Is it right at the dot of 25th of December, or 2 weeks, or even a month before Christmas? Normally, is the anticipation part is the best part, right? Where there's a carols, and then there's you go to departmental store. There's a lot of I would say songs, Christmas song, and then you enjoy buying the present, and you're wondering what kind of presents you're going to get from your friends, right? So all this anticipation actually give you the happiness, right? Like obviously beginning of December, right? So if you just focus on now, you miss all the happiness. Okay, let's say now is Christmas Eve. You just focus on now. Not happy yet, right? Because you don't know tomorrow is Christmas, Do you get my point here, guys? Right? So actually anticipation is good. All you need to do is to change the meaning of the future, right? If it's compelling, actually become more happier, right? Let's say you know that your promotion is on the way. You feel happy? Yes. What if you know that next month you already apply leave for 1 month to go travel around the world? You anticipate, right? You go to buy a luggage bag, you draw up the itinerary, and then you have a plan with your friends where to go, where to eat. That process actually is very happy. So why you want to focus on the now, right? If you say friends, okay, don't focus on the planning on the holiday. Let's focus on today first. The holiday haven't happened yet. If you do that, I guarantee you lost a lot of friends because it seems like you're from other world. Okay, so now the presence, if you want to anchor on present, I would say it's important if you have a lot of worries in the future. So how do you make yourself have to remove this fear of the future? It's not about just focusing on the present. That one could be temporarily to make you feel peaceful, but you also need to design a compelling future. Guys, do you guys agree? Right? Because if you have so much thing to look forward to, you'll be happy. You don't even need to actually motivate yourself to be happy, because I think you have a lot of incidents in your life, right? If there's something great happening tomorrow, you can't even sleep sometimes. You're too excited, right? I still remember when a day before I need to fly for my to London for my holiday. The night before, I don't even need to sleep. Normally I need an alarm clock to wake me up. So on that night, no need. I'm too excited. Right? So anticipation is cool. So don't you think if you can create a compelling future, yeah, your life will be much more happier, guys? Instead of just focusing on the present, I must stay on present, I must stand on present, right? Then until a point of time, you also don't know what's the meaning of it, right? Why not you plan for the future, exciting one? Okay, so how many of you here like this? You do you see the perspective here? Right. So when you are excited about future, you don't need to focus on present, because you're already in present, you're happy. Okay. So how do you do this in Qi Men? In Qi Men, let me show you back the chart again. Okay, this is the chart I'm talking about here. So in Qi Men is like this. Anytime we're talking about the future is the ninth heaven. You see a ninth heaven here? Okay, a ninth heaven. So ninth heaven this year located in Novice. All right. So ninth heaven is about visualization on the future, about what the future entails, right? So, and you sometimes you can even create the future. Okay, ninth heaven is about creating something you look forward to. Since you're able to create, of course, you want to create something happy, right? So, and how do you actually utilize this? Is you need to back to the novice. Of course, there are two parts here. One part you want to visualize in a long term, but I want you to do something really simple first, right? Every night before you go to sleep, right? Every night before you go to sleep, I want you to actually back to the northeast direction because of the ninth heaven, and then I want you to write down what you want to create tomorrow. Yeah, not too far, not like 1 year. It's not a big goal. It's just a simple goal. Maybe tomorrow you want to call your parents, or you want to actually sign up for classes, or you want to maybe you want to write a book. You want to write the first paragraph, whatever it is. I want you to write down 3 things you committed to do tomorrow. Right? Once you write it down, I want you to visualize that already completed. Right? There are 2 steps. 1 step, write down 3 things you committed to do tomorrow. You know that it's important. You've been putting off for quite some time, and you know that that's not the right way moving forward, right? So now you want to simple thing. It could be as simple as just writing 1 paragraph of the book that you want to publish. It could be as simple as that. Don't write something too big, otherwise you don't have the energy to follow through. Only write down something you committed to do, and you are sure that you're going to do it. All right. So once you write down the 3 things, I want you to just visualize those things come into completion. And once you do that, and then you go to sleep. That's it. Okay. And if you can do this continuously for 30 days, think about, would your life change or not? That way? All right. So which means right now, whatever you say, you're doing it, and you literally creating your own version of the future. A lot of people talking about destiny, they talk about the big things, right? The big change, like suddenly make $1 million. No, right? All the big change happen on the little thing you committed to do every single day. And throughout 1 year of repeating all those stuff, then you achieve big success. Right? A lot of people think they are lucky. Actually, they are not. They're just repeating the same thing over and over again until it becomes extraordinary. All right. So that is the power of ninth heaven. You literally contains the power to redesign your destiny. So you have a compelling future. You don't even need an alarm clock to wake you up early in the morning, because you really tell yourself this is something I want to do. You do these 3 things. After you completed the 3 things, you have extra time. What you going to do? Do anything you want, right? Life is supposed to be enjoyed, right? So let's say I completed the 3 things. For me, sometimes I completed all my stuff. I watch Netflix. I don't even feel guilty, right? Who say that you need to work 24/7? No need. Life is about enjoyment, right? But once you do the thing you actually tell yourself to do, you actually discover true freedom inside. Yeah, because when you have the ability to control yourself, right, that is the true freedom. And now you have the power. Yeah, you are not controlled by your emotion anymore. You do something regardless you feel good or not. You do something because you promise yourself to do it. You no need to depend on motivation or good feeling to do something. Once you have that, you are going to the first step of controlling your own destiny. Okay, so this is the power of Qi Men. You enjoy what you learned today? I hope that this one will give you a sort of inspiration or a different perspective about life, and have more understanding what Qi Men can do for you. How many of you here enjoy today learning? Okay, all right, nice. Okay, good to hear from all of you here. Okay, so now let me show you this part here. Yeah, what's next here? So remember just now we talked about this part, the internal victory, right? So if you able to achieve this, right now you feel good, you're composed, you're collected, then you are ready to move on to the external victory. This is where you deal with reality, anything external, people. It could be people you love, right? It could be people you want to love. It could be your competitors, your colleague, your boss, your investor, whatever. All right. So, and this is, or maybe if you're actually you're in a you're playing sport, you also want to win, right? So all of this here is under external victory. And external victory, there are two parts. One I told you just now is a conventional one. I put a C, and then one is a forbidden techniques. And just now, a lot of you actually typing in the chat box, you vote for forbidden techniques. I don't know why. This seems very attractive, forbidden things. So forbidden, they come in so many forms, right? So in Qi Men, yes, they are forbidden techniques. Okay, so yes, these are the one, forbidden Qi Men tactics. So it could be, some of it is could be like a seduction technique. A lot of people told me that they want to learn how to use Qi Men for seduction technique. So all of this here, there are much more, right? It's like there are a lot of tactic here, like the war structure technique. There are so many different techniques, and some of them are forbidden, which means that it's something, it show you how it works, but it doesn't, it's you to decide whether you want to do it or not, right? Sometimes maybe you got bullied or you're being pushed to the corner, right, back to the wall, then maybe you want to defend yourself. Sometimes it's not about harming other people. You want to defend yourself, right? So there's different technique, manipulation techniques. Of course, it's not about harming other people. Yeah, I will not endorse in any kind that is a self-injury or self-inflicted. Is not the one. But this one is more on unconventional way of getting something done. All right. So like some of you just mentioned, seduction technique. How many of you here want to learn seduction technique? Type the word me. Seduction is one of the forbidden Qi Men tactics. All right. So yeah, this is not harming other people. It's to boost your attraction level, your aura. Okay. Yeah. So if some of you want to actually learn how, or there are so many techniques, right? So if you want to learn this, wow, so many of you interested. So I would happy to inform that Dato Joey Dato Joey actually going to teach this forbidden Qi Men tactics. Yeah, this is about the external victory, right? You already go through the private victory, the internal. So this is more on dealing with people, right? So Dr. Joey going to actually teach this, and this program will happen on Q4 in 2022. All right. So the actual date will be released later, but it will be on Q4, quarter 4 in 2022. All right. So if you're interested on this, you like Qi Men, you feel that you want to actually master this forbidden tactics, then we have a limited intake for this, right? Because we try to actually limit to a smaller group here, right? So and we almost actually are out of our the intakes already. So if you're interested on this, I would say this would be the right time to do this. Okay, so it's always good to learn from the master himself, which is Dato Joey. Okay, so if you're interested, then the investment for this program here, this Forbidden Qi Men Tactics, is $997. So if you want to learn, there you go, right? This is the link. You can go into joeyuponline.com/forbidden tactics. Okay, go there and then enroll, and hopefully you can get into this very limited private training program for Forbidden Qi Men Tactics. Okay, all right, so cool. So now I think on the screen right now, you can click on the offer tabs there. There's also there's a button there as well. There's a green color button. You can click on that button to get yourself enrolled on this program. Okay, all right. I wish you luck, right, in the journey of learning Qi Men. Is a very fun program to start with, right? And I would say it's really exciting, and it gives you a very different view. How do you apply Qi Men? Okay, all right, nice. Wow, I see so many of you here already joining. That's great. So do you like today? I hope you enjoyed today sharing here, and I hope that your Qi Men knowledge increase again. Okay, so do you feel that now you have better understanding about Qi Men right now? Do you feel better now? Okay, all right, cool, nice. Okay, so that's my whole purpose, right? To help you to understand Qi Men more, and more importantly, I show you the way. How do you remove all these blockages in your life so you become a more happier person, so you can actually give more, right? You can enjoy life more. And that's the whole purpose of today, worry-free life using Qi Men techniques. Okay, all right, cool. I'm glad that all of you here enjoy yourself, and if you're interested to pursuing this further, right, I would say that the forbidden Qi Men tactics will be the one that you would like to do, right? Because this one is about the external victory, right? It's about achievement. It's about getting something that you want. All right. Okay. Cool. So I see so many comments here. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for all your compliments. I wish you nothing but the best. And that's all for today, right? That's all for today. And I hope you enjoyed this. And thank you for spending like 2 hours with me here. I know some of you need to stay up late to learn this. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. I hope to see you guys again in one of the future webinars or training, or in the Qi Men forbidden tactics, whatever it is. So till then, stay healthy, all right, and then enjoy your life. I'm Iverson Lee. I'll see you again in some other time. Bye-bye.